is a short little piece. I did an issue of the Midwest Quarterly a number of years ago called Letters to Young Poets. If you're familiar with that title, you know that there was a famous German poet at the turn of the 19th to the 20th century whose name was Rilke, who wrote a famous series of letters to a young poet. And the young poet kept them, and after Rilke died, then that poet that had received the letters published those letters. And over the years since then, those have become a kind of keystone for poets, because they're full of such wisdom about being a writer, being a poet. So I asked the people who were contributing poetry to the Midwest Quarterly if they could write their letter to a young poet as Rilke had written, what would they say? And so I got a huge torrent of stuff back, and many of them were very long and ponderous and dreary and boring, and you just couldn't read it. So I wrote one, and I put it at the end of the volume, end of the issue, and I didn't sign it, because as you know, editors of journals are not supposed to publish their own work, so I had to hide the fact that I had published this. And I also didn't want anybody else in the book to think that maybe I was making fun of them. Or at least if someone was making fun of them, I didn't want them to know it was me. So here's my letter to a young poet. Dear young poet. I'll try to capture the voice here. Dear young poet. First thing you do if you want to be a poet is to get you a damn big car that will hold to the curves and handle smooth over the potholes and ruts. Not one of these economy cars or foreign jobs with a stick shift. Shifting gears is a distraction, and it's all about getting rid of distractions. No, it's got to have automatic transmission and cruise control. Best thing for poetry that ever came out of Detroit. Now once you've got your car, get out there on the road and drive. Get the hell away from the TV and the phone. And no cell phones, for God's sake. Safety? Don't give me that crap. You want to be a poet, right? Well, live dangerously, for Christ's sake. You think this is for fiction writers, maybe? Okay, now, did I say no radio? Or CD player? Or MP3, or whatever the hell the latest techno abomination is? Well, I'm saying it now. Rip the damn things out and toss them. If you don't, first thing you know, you'll be pushing buttons and twiddling knobs. Might as well stay home and diddle yourself. Which reminds me, leave the lover at home too, or you'll just wind up diddling each other. It always happens. Now, don't think that I think diddling is bad for a poet. It's not. It happens. It's just that there's a time and a place for it. And out in your car looking for language is not it. Now, pay attention, here's where the cruise control comes in. I swear the sumbitch that invented cruise control must have been a genius. Maybe even a goddamn poet. You set your cruise control so you don't have to be constantly checking your speed. Then you don't have to worry about the trooper or the deputy behind the billboard. You can get your eyes off your speedometer and you can look out and you can actually see. Because that's what poets do. They look. They see. And turn off the damn air conditioner too. Roll down the window so you can feel the wind, smell it, hear it. And the road music, road noise. Tires on asphalt, tires on gravel. Better than any music, very conducive to poetry. Well, that's about it. There's other things I could say, but no need. They'll come to you in time anyway, if you're willing to do the driving. So take my advice. Get yourself a goddamn big car. Take your poems for a ride. There's nothing better. Your friend, Z. Thanks for coming out. And it got a little warm in here, I understand, but you all were a wonderful, attentive audience. So thank you very much for coming out.